Hello everyone. So today we are going to do this circular triangular swiper. As you can see that three images they are swiping around each other. So this video we are going to see how we are going to do this. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get to see how we set this up first. First thing first, we have a container which is like section that holds everything. And I just set it to 80 view width and then mean height is like the height 100 view height and also I've set the direction to flex horizontal and then align item to center. So the flex horizontal is just simply that I want this container and this gallery to be like side by side, left and right, so it's like flowing horizontally, and then the vertical center part is just making it like I want it to be vertically centered instead of the top and things. Okay, that's pretty much it. And then for this container, the only thing that I've set is the flex one, so that it just take one part of like the whole thing. And inside this is just subtitle, description, and button if you need. So just up to you. And then the gallery here, I've put 6 images here. Image resolution to full, and also column I set to 1. One more thing is that I've set the border radius to 100%. So it's just simply, I want to make a square image to like circle. So it matches the kind of like circular triangle kind of feel. It's for aesthetic purpose. Okay, so also I've set the selector flex 3. So it's like this one is flex 1 and then 1, 2, 3. So it's like 1 over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. Just read it up. Flex for more information is the CSS. And then I have a HTML ready to execute the codes. So right, let's just see. Okay, everything is just as it is. Now let's put the code in. So I've already covered on what class we need to inject into the basic gallery widget. So just check my previous video on that. Okay, so this is just injecting the class. We are going to inject class swiper wrapper and the swiper slide. Also putting in the swiper JS library. So let's check if it's injecting. Okay, so yeah, we do have swiper wrapper here, and we also have swiper slide here. So that's correct. We have put it at the correct place. So again, I've already covered this, why we need to put this class in this position. Just look previous video to understand the hierarchy, the setup of Swiper.js. Now we need to initialize this Elementor image gallery as the whole swiper thing because currently it's not sliding. Let's do this. Okay, now it has become a swiper slider. Yes, okay, it's working. So we need to get rid of this horizontal bar. Uh, when we do a web development, usually we do not want to have this bar at the below. So this bar comes out is just simply because this swiper has overrun the container that we set just now. It's like overrunning this one, this one. Like, ooh, it goes all the way. So we don't want it. We need to set it to overflow hidden. And then, so it's gone. Now it's within this container, as you can see, like the boundaries of it. Okay, so we also don't want this image to cover the words. So the way to do this is we just limit these slides within this swiper. So this is how we need to do it. And let's save this code. Like, yeah, you can see that it's now limited within the area that we set it to be swiper, like the gallery part, the gallery widget area. So let's go to here and set it. So you can see that I'm using selector here. It's just simply like Elementor has a selector prefix to target this specific widget. Um, it's a good practice to do this because especially you don't want some of your code to overrun to like other other parts. Maybe you will have like more than one gallery in this page. If you just put it as this without the selector, it will also make the other thing apply the same thing lah. So that's why we need to put selector. It's just a good practice. Okay, so now it's already limited. We want to put it into the circular way now. Let's do this. So in order to do this, we have this creative effect by Swiper.js. So you can read it out, everything here. Swiper.js has all this documentation to tell you what it actually does. I will try and cover as much as we can in our code here. So let's just add it in and see it in action. Okay, okay. It's a bit not sure if it's working right. Basically, the main reason that we are seeing now is because the image is too big, like this image itself. We want it to be smaller. Actually, if it's best, we can see everything in one whole screen like this. So, how I did it is, I go to this basic gallery and I set this column to 2 because Elementor already has their way of handling the scaling the image sizes. So I just wanted to use the widget, the Elementor setting. So I don't need to do too much of the custom styling. Okay, open. Right, so we are seeing it. That's it's kind of working now. Okay, so let me just explain the code first. Okay. So first thing first, we are setting this effect to be creative, and then let's define the creative effect itself. Perspective true is setting like making this thing has some depth to it. Means we enable the Z value here. So as you can see, this one is X, Y, Z. But in this case, I actually do not need the Z value after testing it. But Z value or the perspective is actually more useful here. Like for this kind of example, this is also done by Swiper.js. It's one of these example here. You can see like there's some sort of depth to it. We don't need to show in this case that we have like something that goes way behind and things. So that's why in the end, I just set it to 0. Yeah, but I think it's worth mentioning that we can set the perspective here so that you can understand that it's like XYZ value and things like that. As for this limit progress, you can read it out here. It kind of like making things to have like the same state. But yeah, the most important thing is if I take it away, it's kind of not working. Let me just show you. kind of like set the things to not moving, which is not what I want also. Right, so that's why I set it to, sorry. So set this limit progress to 3. I think you can just read it up here, what it actually means. Basically, it's just setting that all of them to have some state, some sort of state. I will just add in the description later into the video description. Okay, and then we have this previous and next. So this previous and next is actually just defining like the previous image and then the next image. So we have translate XYZ value and then scale, origin, and rotate. So this is all like a CSS thingy. You can tweak it here if you need it. Like for example, I put scale 0.4. It's just like scaling from to 40% of the initial size. So that if it's 50, I don't want it to be too close to each other. So that's why I put 0.4. It's just nice. And then 40% is like a X translation. Yep. So if I put like a 50, it will be like a bit more gap here. I think it's just fine right now. So that's why I put 40 here. You can just tweak it yourself and test it out the value at your site. But mostly I'm taking this one because for this case, I just need to make sure that the image are not overlapping each other. So it actually depends on your image size as well. But one more thing that I want to note is I don't want these to be so close to the words here. And then, yeah, it's just too close. Plus, you will notice that there's like a empty gap here, empty space here, which is also not what I want. Like, yeah, it's aligned to left. So to fix this, it's pretty simple. We just need to add this centered slide through. So it's also by swiper, so that it's like centering the active slide to where it is. Like for example, now it's like left aligned. We want it to be in the middle. So let's just add it. All right. Now it is centered, the active slide, which is the biggest one. And we are not seeing the sync image now. Okay, so this one is like it's actually same explanation as to this example here. So when the slide is centered, for example, like this active slide, you can imagine that there should be like slide at the left, right, and then right, left, like that. And then, so this is just to make sure that it's centered, right? The left should be like 2 and then like 2. So it's actually the same thing here. So when we centered it, it will just fill up the gap like the previous and next so that it's no longer empty. If it's not centered, it's kind of always like there's an empty one here. Okay. And lastly, I think today we want to add in one more thing is we want to set the autoplay. And I also want to disable the interaction and to not allow user to move the slider. This one is depending on your case if you want to enable that or not. But for my case, I don't want people to just mess around with this because I want it to be like aesthetic kind of thing. And I don't want this to uh, snatch away too much of the attention for my user to click this one. So it's like, oh wow, this one is nice. And if they notice they can play, they're just gonna just play. So we don't want that. We just want them to see, this is very nice. Okay, so what is this about? That's why I just disabled it. And that's all for our tutorial here. Okay. Uh, Again, I really like to use Elementor and WordPress because the really good news about this is I can also just set it to a dynamic thing. I can put product gallery also if I want it to be. So it's like I don't need this to be set as fixed as it is. I can just reuse this whole thing here to different places and then set the thing to always take a different value from the pages itself. I think this is the very good part of using WordPress and Elementor to build websites. So I think that's pretty much about it. If you have any question, you can write it in the description there. I will also try and uh, edit up some of the part that I didn't really explain through, like limit progress, all this, into the description to just kind of like make it up a bit. So that's all for now. Thank you so much.